The Marvels is a movie we've all been waiting to release so we can see it spectacularly fail. It's got a cast of characters not a lot of people care about. We have seen trailers filled with cringeworthy feminist humor, and overall, I don't think many people are very excited for this movie, but now the box office estimates are out, and it shows that ticket sales are in the gutter. I have a few different things that I want to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, follow me on social media, and consider supporting through Patreon or via YouTube memberships. So starting off with this Cosmic Book News article, it says, following tickets going on sale on Tuesday, it's claimed that the Marvel's ticket pre-sales are in the gutter and are less than a third of Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which could mean the flick may open to less than $39 million. Now, I don't think we all expected this movie to do good. Of course, I'm sure executives did and the creatives did, since Captain Marvel did over $1 billion at the box office, which is mind-boggling to this day, but I think that we all expected this movie to do pretty poorly just because of a few main aspects. First of all, it has been delayed so many times at this point. We've heard that it had a lot of writing problems and they had to fix the scripts. We have heard that Brie Larson was a diva on set and she was really difficult to reshoot with and they had to do a lot of reshoots. We've heard a lot of things, and then just from what we have seen, it seems like it's going to be a nightmare. I mean, the cast of characters is lame. I'm sorry, I don't really care about Monica Rambeau, I don't really care about Miss Marvel, and I do not care about Captain Marvel. This is just a trio of characters that in my opinion could not be any less boring. And to top it off, we have seen in the trailers and teasers the feminist humor. It's just gonna be a woman power movie to the max, and they're not really trying to appeal to the audience that they have for the MCU. But now it says Guardians of the Galaxy 3 actually opened soft, but due to word of mouth, the flick had good legs and ended with a successful box office, but this movie doesn't appear that it will. It goes on to say, so if the Marvel's ticket sales are less than a third of Guardians of the Galaxy 3, that could mean the Marvel's box office could open to less than a third of 3's opening, which would be $39 million or less, meaning it would be the worst MCU movie out of them all. The lowest ever opening belongs to The Incredible Hulk at $55 million, and on the higher end of things, the Marvels is projected to earn only between 50 to 75 million. So that means that this movie is most likely going to be on the lower end, because we've seen that with several films over the past couple of months to about year. The projections are almost always very high and then they do much less. So if it's being projected 50 to 75, I do think that that 39 million number could stand the test of time. I mean, obviously we'll see in a few weeks when it finally releases. But this definitely does seem like it is going to severely struggle at the box office, and another layer to that might even be The Hunger Games. I have talked about this in a previous video, but Rachel Zegler is basically going to war with Disney right now. Of course, she is going to be playing Snow White in the upcoming Snow White film. We don't know when exactly it's going to release. It's still rumored to be launching in March, but the Hunger Games film that she is starring in comes out a week after the Marvels, and we have heard that behind the scenes they are like ramping up for this war. It's female-led versus female-led films, and I do think that there is the potential here for the Marvels to get absolutely crushed by the Hunger Games. Honestly, I hope they both fall flat on their faces. I don't want either of these movies to do well. I don't want Rachel Zegler to have a win under her belt. I don't want Brie Larson and the rest of the cast to have a win under their belt, but it does seem, at least right now, that the Hunger Games could outpace the Marvels. We don't have any kind of ticket sales for that. We don't exactly know. It's just a guess at this point, but I bet Marvel is kind of worried about how the box office is going to fare in the upcoming war that the box office is going to face with these female-led films. This also means that it is tracking nearly 42% behind Eternals, one of the worst movies to release over the past few years in terms of the MCU. And I don't see any hype surrounding this movie at all whatsoever. I mean, if you just look at the comment sections of any of these posts, people are roasting this movie, destroying it. I mean, even when the teasers and trailers released months ago for this film, it was mostly negative reception. People just are not excited for this movie, and it just proves that, the MCU is really in a low point, but there's no easy way to fix it. I know that I say this all the time, and that they could fix it if they really put in the time and the effort and they started listening to fans and they did truly start focusing on quality over quantity. But even if they took years to try to fix the MCU, would they even be able to do it? I think yes, but it would be very hard, and it's projects like this that prove me right. They keep trying to do all of these new exciting things and switching up their casts of characters, and that's not what people want. People want to see the Thors, they want to see the Iron Mans, the Captain Americas. We want to see these great characters, and there are plenty of great female characters, but we don't want a trio of like the strongest woman, cringiest feminist characters and cast members that you can possibly get together. And all of this negative reception just proves it. People are saying things like Disney continuing to fail, love to see it. People saying things like it's still a month away, so it could be good. I don't believe that for a second. Superhero fatigue, people wary of the cynical pandering to diversity checklists that sacrifices good storytelling isn't something that people want to see. Unfortunately, there is no excitement in the MCU right now, and that's true. There is no excitement in the MCU right now, but that's because they keep releasing projects like this. They think this is what's going to bring fans back to the franchise, and that is just not going to happen. I can't really say I'm surprised to hear that right now the Marvels is tracking for an absolute bomb at the box office, but this also proves that going forward, we might actually see that rivalry between the Marvels and the Hunger Games. I did talk about this in a previous video, but Rachel Zegler is basically going to war with Disney right now because the Hunger Games releases only a few days after the Marvels, and they're both female-led films. And to top it off, of course, Rachel Zegler is an upcoming Disney star, a Disney actress. She's going to be in Snow White, and it sounded like there was going to be a bit of a war there, and I definitely am starting to believe it now. Of course, we do not have any estimates for Hunger Game ticket sales. They do go on sale soon, so we should be getting those numbers eventually here. Either way, though, I don't want either of them to succeed. I want them both to fail. I don't want Rachel Zegler to have a win under her belt. I don't want Brie Larson to have a win under her belt. But yes, right now, the box office estimates for the Marvels are in the gutter, and so apparently are the ticket sales. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.